Welcome back to the Flamenco build. There's been a little bit of a hiatus in the Flamenco build, as you may have noticed if you've been watching it real time. Main reason is I needed to buy a new tool. I needed to buy a fret slotting saw. The one that I've been using to date is starting to get a bit tired. So I've treated myself to this beautiful thing. I shall be using it today. So yeah, we should get that stowed away, and the Flamenco build is well and truly getting to its conclusion, so hopefully you'll have everything you need to go away and build your own flamenco. So I've got the fretboard and it's all marked out with the graduations for the scale length. Incidentally, the other way that you can cut frets other than the one that I'm about to show you is with one of these fret mitering blocks. This is the one that I use for some of my electric guitar builds. It's set to 25¼ scale length, which is the Fender, it's classic Fender scale length. And simply what you do is you offer the fretboard into the jig, set it up along the centre line, and then pop the saw in and cut away down each of the slots until you've installed all the fret slots. Unfortunately, the classical and flamenco guitar scale length not being 25¼ I'm going to have to do this by hand. This may be a little bit unorthodox in as much as it will look like it's being done a little bit ad hoc, but I intend to cut these slots by hand, just with a bit of mindfulness really. So I'm just going to get the saw. I'm going to offer it into the cut mark that I made with the scalpel earlier on. Each one of these slots, incidentally, if I didn't already mention, has been pre-cut with a scalpel, just to give me a little bit of a fighting chance from the point of view of stopping the saw from slipping. It's got a depth gauge set to just about 2mm, so the saw will only cut as deep as that depth gauge, and indeed this is a pull saw, so it cuts on the pull stroke, which gives you better control. And literally what I'm going to do is I'm going to just find with the edge of the blade the scalpel mark. I'm angling forward just to touch the corner and just make a tiny little cut where I feel that. And you notice I'm kind of angling the blade slightly as well. That just helps you to get it started without skidding across. So found it on that side, same again on this side, just touch the blade in. I'm using my finger as a bit of a guide as well. Okay, and then quite simply eyeballing the 2 points. Don't try and saw it just straight because you'll be all over the place. Eyeballing the 2 points, I'm going to saw at a 90° angle. Again, you could use a mitre block for this. I'm personally find it just as easy to do it by eye and by feel, and just keeping the end of the saw in line with the slot, and just pulling back and starting to make a gradual cut onto the board, and then alternating between that and doing exactly the same thing on the front edge, just eyeballing the back end here, the cut that I've started to make, and allowing the groove to extend. And then shortly you will discover, as you start to drop the blade down, that they will start to meet in the middle, and we know that we're on point, 90° to the midline. And once you get a groove, it's deep enough that you feel safe, just very, very slowly and mindfully, keeping the blade at 90°, to start cutting. Never be inclined to rush. Well, the wise man once said, it's a long time in the case. The guitar, that is. So better spend the time now than have it in the case for the rest of its life, and you looking at it, or the customer looking at it and going, that bit's not quite right. Long time in the case. I have to say this is a joy. A company called G&W, which stands for Guitar and Woods. So they're a Portuguese company, if I remember rightly. They do some excellent tools and quite good value for money as well. You can find them on eBay and all the usual places, or indeed direct to their website. So effectively, I'm going to saw until I don't hear wood being cut anymore. And I know I'm at the depth stop. There it goes. So if you notice, but as I came out there, out of the slot, I kind of drew it up and out in line. Don't be, if you snag it and try and pull it back out again upwards, you can tear lumps out. So anyway, I'm going to crack on and slot the rest of this fretboard, and I'll see you when it's done.